Hello, good morning. Can you hear my voice? Oh, Margis, are you there?
Good. No problem. No problem.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, no problem. Just proceed.
All right. Okay, good morning to everyone. Even though it's a holiday, but we are meeting at the club now, and it's a rainy day. Just to make a briefing for this practical. So I start. So your practical chemistry is considered paper 4. 962/4. So it will contribute 20% to the total STPM chemistry paper lah. That means your written paper will be 80%. Yeah. So before we go into the whole thing, this is the overall picture of the 20%. So it has 13 experiments. So you have done 5. So now another 8 to go lah. This one done. So this one not yet lah. So one project. So the whole total marks for 20% is 225, and this 225 is contribute 20% lah. So the summary of all for the format of assessment of chemistry paper, you have paper 1, which is 962/1. This is SEM 2 paper, you have done it. So this semester you will be doing SEM 2 paper, which is 962/2, and for SEM 3 will be 962/3 lah. And paper 4, this is your project. Okay. So therefore, your written paper, each paper, the weightage will be around 26.67%. Yeah. So you times 3, you get about you get rounded up is 80%. So I hope you understand. So today we focus more on project. So so for project, this one is MPM requirement. What I discussed today is based on the MPM requirement. So in one group, there will be 3 to 4 students. Maximum is 4 lah. And normally, I'm not sure about other subject teacher. I will choose one leader lah. But doesn't mean that not leader you're not doing it. Just a rep only for each group. So you need to have a logbook. I'm sure your subject teacher has mentioned to you. So individually, you should have a logbook. Normally, I ask students to prepare the A4 size logbook. You don't have to buy very thick book. I think about 60 muka surat will be good enough. But some subject teachers also allow the normal size lah. So you liaise with your subject teacher. And project normally will be done, depends on your subject teacher as well. Some teacher will do it during term 2, some teacher will do it during term 3. And after you complete your project, you write the report, and you will need to have a viva or oral presentation, either during SEM 2 or end of SEM 2, or maybe during SEM 3. It depends on your subject teacher lah. Because we are going to key in the mark in semester 3. If your subject teacher complete early, then it's all right also lah. This one is some example how to write the index in the logbook. So in your logbook, the first page is for index. All right, it's for index. When you open up your A4 size logbook, you will have index. So in the index, you will put in this way lah. You write the date, what activity, your signature, and this one is the subject teacher signature, and any remark to be written by the teacher lah for each thing here. So if you have the logbook now, you can start to jot down. For example, today is 29 March, right? 2021. And the activity that we are going to do is a briefing on project for 2021. At the same time, I also briefing item, dual activity in the index of your log. Other than that, so after this briefing, liaise with your subject teacher whether you want me to start during this holiday or postpone after semester 2. So it all depends on your subject teacher. So I just give example. What else you like? Huh? Let's say after forming the group, you will have the first meeting of the group members. Okay, of the group members. So in the first meeting, what are the content that you discuss? So maybe you are discussing group discussion on the title, what title you want to choose for your project, and what background, literature review and so on. And at that first meeting, maybe you assign each member with certain duties to maybe to search for some material. Okay, and maybe the following meeting will be more detailed discussion after you go and search. Maybe after a few days, you come back to have another meeting. Your meeting may be online now, right? Because you know how to make use of online meeting ataupun through WhatsApp group. So you want to return to so what is your objective lah, problem statement dan sebagainya. So these are the things that you can write in your index ataupun the content of your logbook lah. Other than that, what else? What other evidence that you need to provide in the logbook? Logbook is like your diary, yeah, like your diary of your project. So some important printed articles. Maybe along the way you search some material, you find that this material is very useful. Then you print out 1 or 2 pages. Okay, you can paste it in your logbook. So the material you can share among your members. Maybe in the same group you share the same printed article or maybe different article. It is up to you. As long as ada barang lah. Most importantly, ada picture. Maybe the first gathering is online. Then later on, when they allow you to go to search in the public library or our school library, you want to snap another picture, also can. Ataupun along the experiment, you want to search some, you want to snap some photo, you can also include 1 or 2 lah. So you can, the information can be handwritten in the logbook. Maklumat yang penting, maybe short statement you want to jot down. So you take it as your diary. Semuanya dalam logbook as your evidence. Because this logbook we are going to collect at the end of the semester. Kalau ada moderator from MPM, they want to see the logbook to make sure that bahawa the candidate memang ada buat. So if your subject teacher asking you to prepare proposal, maybe you have draft 1, you know. So after your subject teacher conteng marking already, you can take back that proposal and then you can paste also in the logbook sebagai bukti bahawa you have done your draft and have been checked. Example lah, your data collection. So when you carry out experiment, you may tabulate your data. So you don't have to put it in a separate sheet of paper. So you just use the logbook, you jot down everything. Maybe you want to jot down temperature difference or weight difference, semuanya dalam logbook. Data analysis also. So after you get the data, what you want to do? You want to plot graph, line graph, or bar graph, depending. I think all this is in your PDF handout shared by your subject teacher. So you printed out, right? All this. Project assessment guide, maksudnya after you submitted your project, the guide, how do we mark the candidates punya markah for project. The students will be assessed on their performances as either as a member, okay, as a member, whether they are giving cooperation and so on, and also as individual, especially when they do the Viva presentation. So we want to see when you present, you really understand what you are doing. Huh? Through the following means. Other than the process, we also looking at the outcome. So the outcome is through your written report lah, that you are going to submit at the end of that process. The quality of your project report, whether it fulfill whatever needed from the MPM, and also your Viva or oral presentation. Setiap orang mesti bercakap lah. That's why that is individual. The project report, this one is given by MPM, 800 hingga 1,500 words. But most of the time, I think our student is exceeding. It's okay lah. And paling penting is your written report must be entirely your own writing. If you are taking some information from the site of any books, you have to write the citation lah. Maybe you say according to university or blah blah blah, the research blah blah blah, or according to what association. So you mesti bagi tahu lah. Don't copy and paste. Let's say you have maklumat dalam satu paragraph. Maybe you read, then you make some summary, you extract out the important information and put them in statements, your own statement lah. Because later on in the university, they have the software to detect whether you are copy and paste or not. And based on that, they can check out how many percent you copy and paste. So they will deduct your mark. In the school level, we don't have that software lah, but by looking at the writing, we can roughly know whether it's your own writing or you cut and paste. So you need to copy and leave it blank in your handout lah. So generally, when you hantar your written project, satu group satu report, satu group satu report. So you have a specific title, you have an extract, chapter 1, introduction, chapter 2 is methodology, chapter 3 is observation, result and discussion, chapter 4 conclusion, chapter 5 is the references ataupun bibliography, and finally the appendix, some attachment lah. Boleh? Have you done? Are you done? Sudah ke? I cannot see your face because I'm in this mode. I don't see any faces, so you have to use your mic. You unmute your mic and respond to me lah, whether I'm fast or I'm slow. Sudah siap ah? Anyone? Okay. So basically, this is the format. Next time in the university, you will be using these 5 chapters to write report, research report or final year project, or maybe you do your master or PhD. Basically, for scientific research, they will always have 5 chapters, and the chapter will be arranged in such a way lah. Okay, so we go one by one. Just now, title. So for title, I think this one I have printed out also. You just need to take note Here. So for title, bold, capital letters, and the Times Roman is 14. This one is MPM requirement. Your title must be stated. This year the theme is more of electrochemical or analysis process. Every year the theme is different. Every batch the theme is different. Like last year was about synthesis of silicon dioxide. So this year is more on using the surrounding material around you to do maybe recycling process, either mechanical or chemical or biological or physical. More of recycling lah, using different chemical way lah. So for abstract, about 100 words or maybe maximum I think about 150 lah. Italic Times New Roman is 10. No paragraph or no indentation. So your abstract itu cannot start with the empty space. You don't have to tap. You just start to write. That is no indentation. So satu saja. Tak ada dua paragraph. Is like one whole piece. So in the abstract, you need to have a bit of intro, and then start with your purpose or your aim of your project, what method you use, finally what result you obtain, and make a simple conclusion out of your analysis lah. I think all this dalam your PDF. So abstract is the last to write. Abstract adalah barang yang terakhir kita buat. Because after we finish all, then only you can make conclusion. So now you are not writing abstract yet. After you habis semua, baru buat abstract. Abstract is like a synopsis lah. Ataupun summary of the whole process. Jadi, let's say people want to consider whether they want to further read the report or not. Because in the university, the report is not very thin, it's very thick, you see, or journal. So before they consider want to further read or not, they will look for the abstract. So they think, the abstract, this is the aim, this is the method, so this is the result and conclusion. So do I need this or not? So if I need only, I will further read. If this is not what I want, then I will choose another abstract. So abstract is also very important piece of information. Acknowledgement seperti biasalah, you need to thank all the bodies, organization or people that help you to complete this project lah. Table of contents, biasanya if you have a few more than one or two tables, you can list it down lah, berapa table you ada. Figure is normally referred to graph or chart or diagram or picture. You can list them down in the table of content. Okay, so after the abstract and acknowledgement and all, then only will come out in the first chapter. First chapter is our introduction. So in the introduction, what do we need to have? 1.1, because this is 1.0, then it will be 1.1 is talking about some theory. The theory will be related to what you are going to do in your project. So you write some background information about the research that you are going to do. Maybe 1 page like that. Don't need to be long. Then 1.2, you can write a bit of literature review. So literature review normally is those information or the result or the research that people have been done in the past, but something related to what you want to do. Maybe you want to repeat the same method that they use, but you use different sample. Ataupun you use the same sample, but you change the method a bit or some process. So jadi you will have to write the reference quote lah, citation daripada sumber mana, what organization have done this, what is the outcome, what is their result dan sebagainya. Then next one is 1.3 is problem statements. Okay, so let's look at problem statement. So problem statement is either short statement or a short paragraph. A short paragraph that clearly identifies the problem, okay, the problem that this experiment or this project that that you are going to study, that you are going to carry out. So dia fokus kepada finally what you want to do in order to solve this problem. And it establishes the reason for conducting the experiment. In other words, maksudnya kenapa you buat this project? What is the purpose behind? What you want to know about this, the outcome? So how do we guide ourselves to write problem statement? Maybe the first question you ask will be, what do I know? What I know already, the prerequisite, the knowledge that I know. You put in a statement lah, a short statement. Apa yang you telah belajar, maybe in the STPM level, you know this thing. So first statement. Then secondly, you describe the issue that the research will address. Meaning, what do I need to know now? Pre-knowledge, I know, but now I have something that bothering me. I'm not quite sure what will it be, you know. So this is my problem lah. Okay, thirdly, later I give some example. Thirdly, show the relevance of the problem. Okay, biasanya in higher level they want it this lah. In school level maybe you can lighten it a bit. It's okay lah. Maksudnya, why do we need to know this? Apa aplikasi dia? What is the impact? What is the implication to me or to my surrounding or to my life or to my society? Something like that. Problem yang you want to know. Maksudnya, I don't know this, but why do I want to know? So once you clarify number 3, then you will start to have some aim in mind. Maksudnya, so finally, what do I need to do? What do I need to find out? How do I design my experiment? So first, I know a bit. I know something. Then I don't know something bothering me, hanging in my mind. Why do I want to know? What is the purpose? What is the impact? How can it help my life, my surrounding, my environment, or my friend, or my society, or my country, something like that lah. Can be small, can be intermediate, can be very big. Okay. For example, you want to, those researchers want to invent the COVID-19 vaccine. So of course, this problem will be very related lah, because you want to save the earth. So once they identify number 3, they will know what to do with their project. Set the objective. Okay, so once you are clear with the problem statement, when you come to number 4 just now, you should roughly get a little bit concrete. Okay, so actually I want this. Okay, set your objective. So first, 1, 2, 5. Second, to do what? So objective, normally I advise students to sort it out according to number. Okay, number 1 objective to determine blah blah blah, or number 2 to measure blah blah blah. Something that measurable. You can measurable means you can collect data ataupun through observation. So 1.5 is related to 1.4 lah. So this is a question mark, okay, but this is a statement. This is a full stop. Objective is, for example, to determine the rate of reaction of blah blah blah. Then your research question will be, how do I determine the rate of reaction of blah blah blah? So from there, you start to design. How do I design the method in order to achieve this objective lah. So biasanya kalau your objective ada 4, so your research question will be also ada 4 lah. Your answer 1 to 1, then it's easy. So in the chapter 1, in the introduction, you kena also tulis limitation of the studies. But later part. Maksudnya, along you carry out your project. So along the way, when you carry out the experiment, then only you realize, ada limitation lah. Kalau saya boleh buat macam ni, my result will be more accurate. Kalau saya buat ni, dia akan lagi perfect. So those limitations that you actually cannot control. So what is that? So you list down, I think minimum you can list down 2, because all these carry marks in your report. So for chapter 1, this is a guideline only. So 300 sama lah, format dia double spacing and then justified. Justified means your report writing is dalam word. So when you go to Word, there will be this pilihan, the choice to be either justified or to be your text all slope to the left or center, or to the right, and another one is justified. Justified means they will try to adjust until dia cantik lah, semua macam cantik. Here tak ada ekor, tak ada kepala yang pendek atau ekor yang pendek. So you choose justify in the Word punya format. Okay, now we look at satu example, but this example is I think 2 or 3 years back lah, when they did the extraction of alkaloids. Boleh nampak? Class? Can you see? Can?
Can see.
Okay, thank you. Oh, so in Word I cannot write. Oh, in Word saya tak boleh tulis. So saya kena guna ini. Okay, title. Title must be specific. Maksudnya from the title, when people read your title, they kind of know what roughly you are doing. So the title here, the screening. Screening means we want to know ada atau tak ada, like screening, screen it out. Screening of the presence of alkaloid. Alkaloid is a compound that present in the plant. Some plant has, some plant don't have. So screening of the presence of alkali in the stem, bahagian tertentu, in the stem of different plant samples. Maksudnya, when I read this, I know, dia ada beberapa jenis plant sample lah. Okay, so they try to screen out this plant in the stem ada ke alkaloid atau tak ada. Okay. So this is one. Using apa? Using Mayer test. So if you are also doing this, when you see Mayer test, you know, dia guna Mayer test. Okay. And maksudnya dia ada 2 purpose here. First, dia screen. Okay, ada atau tak ada. Secondly, they also test and the antimicrobial effect. Maksudnya they want to test kalau ada this antimicrobial effect of this alkaloid extracted against the aggression of yeast. Maksudnya kalau dia extracted dan berjaya ada, it tested on the yeast whether the yeast die or not dying. You see? So dia ada 2 barang di sini. So when we read the title, kita boleh imagine, dia extract, dia screen, after that kalau ada dia test on the yeast, something like that. Okay, so problem statement. I cannot do. Some alkaloids are present in different parts of the plant. So this statement, the first statement here, let's say I go opening. Okay. So some alkaloids are present in different parts of sample. So this is the part that we know. Okay, go back here. What do we know? Okay, this one, Lisa. So this candidate know that, okay, some alkaloid memang present in different parts of the plant. The second statement, let's say I use green. The presence of alkaloids in the stem of different plant sample are not known. So that means this is more focused. They or she or this group only want to know dalam bahagian stem. The stem, the batang. So this is bahagian kedua, which is no. So I don't know lah, I don't know. Ada, tetapi saya tak tahu ada ke dalam stem atau ada yang tak ada. So it's like bothering me. So next one, we try to relate. Why do we need to know? And finally, what will you do to find out? Okay. So just now, this is not known, the one that I don't know. So the third one is in order. In order, okay. In order to observe and measure the anti-microbial effect of these alkaloids from the stem of different plant sample against the aggression of yeast, this is my kenapa saya nak buat lah, kenapa saya nak tahu dan what is the implication. So I want to know kalau this plant has alkaloid and whether this alkaloid is going to have that anti-microbial effect towards the growth of yeast or not. Because yeast is like a pathogen to the plant. So kalau dalam plant ada alkaloid, will this alkaloid become an anti-microbe effect or not towards that yeast? So this is my number 3. So finally, what do I do? I don't have to highlight lah. Therefore, alkaloids need to be extracted from the stem of different plant sample, and after that, after extract, I will be testing it against the yeast. So this is finally guiding me to do in order to answer or to solve my problem in mind. Class, are you with me? Yes, Okay, thank you. So once I know the number 4 here, I need to extract. Okay, let's see. I use color. I will use color of dark. Like one. So I will set these few objectives. Number 1, I need to extract the fruit which contains alkaloid from the stem of different plant sample. Maksudnya, saya ada beberapa jenis plant and I only take the stem only and try to extract. Okay, that is the first thing I need to do. Secondly, because in the secondly, because I'm using Mayer test to do the screening, macam ada ke tak ada. So I use Mayer test. Therefore, I also need to explore how to prepare Mayer reagent for the screening of the whether presence or absence of alkaloids from this stem of different plant sample. Okay, So 1, kena extract. 2, kena prepare. 3, after I prepare, to determine the presence of alkaloid from the stem of different plant sample using Mayer test. So after I prepare, I do the screening. And lastly, to observe and measure the antimicrobial effect of alkaloids kalau ada from the stem of different plant sample against the yeast. So jadi very clear. So this group will be like, okay, first I know ada plant at different parts, dia ada alkaloid. Tetapi in the stem, I'm not sure ada atau tak ada. But why I want to know? Because I want to know kalau ada, adakah alkaloid akan act as anti-microbe towards yeast? Oh, okay, that is my intention. So therefore, what do I need to do? Oh, so I need to extract lah. After I extract, I need to screen lah using Mayer test, ada atau tak ada. Kalau ada, what do I do? I take the extract, the filtrate, and tested it on the yeast. See whether the yeast mati atau tak mati. So you got to design the experiment yourself. You faham? So once the objective came out this way, then this one will be easy. Sebab 1.5 is actually answering. Is a question. Answer is in 1.4. 1.5 is a question. So what is the best and economical way to extract the filtrate which contain alkaloids from the stem of different plant sample? So I got to think. Cara yang terbaik tetapi save money and also can be done in the lab. Okay. How to prepare Mayer reagent? Of course lah, I need to search lah. How to determine the presence after I prepare Mayer? So bagaimana the observation? Positive observation, or what color? Negative deviation, apa color? So I need to know. So I start to search. Once I know, then I will know what to search. When I don't know, I don't know what to search. Okay, so finally, what is the best and simple method? In the lab lah, to observe and measure the antimicrobial effect of alkaloids from the stem of different sample against the aggression of yeast. Maksudnya. Kelas, boleh faham these three things. 1.3 from don't know to more concretely know what you need to do. From there, you set your objective, and this is your question to be solved by searching more to prepare your method. All right. So limitation, like I say, is along the way when you do, baru you dapat tahu, oh ini tak boleh lah. Ini kalau boleh lebih baik, something like that. So example, the filtrate extracted from the stem of different plant sample may not be purely alkaline because they don't have the way to purify it. You see, they just extract maybe other impurities. So that one they cannot control, you see. So it may contain other natural substances or impurities which may also influence the screening process and the overall result. So these are example given. Okay, so I also show abstract. So just now I told you abstract mesti ada a bit of intro, the aim, the purpose of doing it, the method, apa method you guna, and finally a result ataupun conclusion. Mesti ada barang ini. And it is no indentation. Indentation means tak ada paragraph. Straight away you start with here, the most left. So you write lah, alkaloid, blah, blah, blah. This one is intro. Very simple intro. Jangan panjang-panjang. Then the aim. What is the aim? Oh, to determine the presence of alkaloid at where using what plant. So they give you the scientific name. Okay. And also to determine, maksudnya the aim ada dua, to determine apa dan to determine the antimicrobial effect. So dia ada dua aim. Okay, sudah tahu aim, and then guna method apa? Oh, solvent extraction untuk extract the alkaloid. Okay. And screening guna apa? Screening guna Mayer test. Okay, these are the two methods. Okay, so after that, result. Result showing apa, and conclusion make another summary. Boleh faham? So, but like I say, abstract is the last to do. Sebab you kena ada semua barang, baru you buat summary in the abstract. So far, okay? All right. Thank you. So that is chapter 1. Chapter 2 is methodology. 2.1, you shall write research sampling, what sample you are using. Like I say, for your batch, your team is more surrounding stuff. Maybe water sample from the industrial waste, maybe some matter around your house, depending on what title you do. Because this year dia banyak pilihan, quite interesting. 2.2, materials and apparatus, be more specific. Kalau you nak guna conical flask, what size? Is it 250 or 500 cm3? Yeah, okay. If using pipette, 25.0 pipette ke 50.0 cm3 pipette. So specific. Procedure, adequately detailed and repeatable. Maksudnya, when people read, let's say next time in the university, you are doing your research project. Okay, whatever you write, your report will be your journal will be stored in the library. So when people want to search, they will look for the method. So when they read your method, they can do it again. Okay, they will not like, okay, after reading what to do next, what do I do next? How much do I need to read? So all those must be repeatable. It's like ingredient to bake cake lah. So your ingredient itu your step by step. Make sure people read already, they can follow and bake the same cake as you. Sama di sini guideline, double spacing justified times New Roman 12. Data collection before you go into the lab and do your experiment. Make sure you sudah ada apa yang you want to collect. Maybe you sudah tabulate siap-siap jadual yang kosong. Okay, what you want to dapat. Easy to follow step. Jangan complicated. Make the complicated step into easy step. Okay, chapter 3. Paling penting is chapter 3 lah, because involve observation, result, and discussion. So double spacing, justified, sama barang. Data is well organized and is related. Kalau ada dalam bentuk table, well written in complete sentences. Ada graph yang can represent your table, your data from the table. Okay, maybe line graph, maybe bar chart, depends. Well structured explanation for finding. Okay. Bibliography, we are using the APA system. APA means American Psychological Association. When you write your format for bibliography. So kalau tak tahu what is APA system, you can search in the net, then you know how to write it. What to write first, writer first or title first or publisher first, how do you write it? Semua belajar sendiri ya. Because most university, I think local university, they are using APA system also. So you once you know now, then easier for you next time. Alphabetical order and no numbering. At least for me lah, at least you must have 5 books. Don't use all the net punya sahaja. So the books you can get it from public library, community library, ada banyak book, or even our school library, the overseas book lah. If the source is from internet, you state after you browse, when you browse, it is viewed on what date? Viewed on what date? Let's say you browse today, so it's on the 29 March 2000. Because sometimes the source might be missing out after a while. Oral presentation, this one is later part lah. This one you discuss with your subject teacher. So for proposal, maksudnya before you conduct the experiment, you propose first, rough idea, supaya senang. You come up with a specific title that you want to do. Okay, a brief intro, like the one that I briefed just now in chapter 1 tu. Procedure macam mana in the chapter 2. And along the way, your site ataupun your book that you use, you sudah listed out. So you sudah ada barang dalam tangan. Towards the end, when you want to write your report, it's easier for you because you already have some in your hand. You just need to tukar-tukar a bit. Material yang diperlukan, chemical yang diperlukan, be specific. Try to be simple, the acid and base common use one that we can find in the lab. Because if you need to buy specific one, it depends on the budget of the unit kimia. That's why you need to bagi tahu your subject teacher. Ada atau tak ada dalam lab. Kalau tak ada, kena beli ke, boleh beli ke, cukup duit dan sebagainya. Apparatus also the same lah. Guna yang simple lah. Ika lah. Guna yang terlalu complicated. We don't have that. It's not university. Okay, content, names of your member lah, tajuk. So when you hantar your proposal, you sudah bersedia dengan chapter 1. Okay, it's like you can type it out in the Word already. Senang. Nanti the second round you boleh tukar terus. You buat amendment on the soft copy. So you follow the format yang saya bagi tadi. 1.1 is what, 1.2 is what. So therefore, in your proposal, you sudah settle chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 5. And this one is to coordinate or coordinate with the school level, with teachers lah, with subject teachers. Whether can be done or cannot be done, proposal is only a proposal. Maksudnya, you buat pertama kali doesn't mean that you akan buat ini. Maybe kena tukar sedikit benda. Discuss with teacher from time to time. So the flow is you propose and then your teacher say okay. Then you set the time with your teacher. Bila nak buat. When you buat, you jot down all the meeting, discussion, data collection, result dalam logbook, semua tulis. Dan you arrange also discussion from time to time with teacher lah. So your logbook jangan lupa, like today, start to tulis. Don't forget to keep all the evidence. Semua dalam logbook. Jot down, tarik bila you buat discussion, bila discussion with group, discussion with teacher, bila buat experiment. Photo throughout the data collection. So project, this one I think is in your PDF also lah. So finally, this project is not to make it burden to you, bukan satu beban, tetapi is to actually help you to prepare yourself for university kind of project. You have a basic idea. Okay, so for your session, 2020-2021, the theme, the tema, is more on the usage and application of electrochemistry, including electrolysis lah. So suggested sample, suggested saja, you can use other sample, bincang dengan cikgu. The old battery yang sudah rosak, yang tak boleh guna, whether car battery ke, the ordinary battery ke, ataupun metal, maybe your spoon sudah berkarat ke, ataupun you have anything in mind, electrodes, alloy yang ada dalam rumah, sekeliling rumah, thermoplastic polymer, all those plastic. So that is the barang-barang yang boleh digunakan. Suggested topic, suggested, this one semua ada, semua sudah ada dalam your PDF. You can do a model of fuel cell. So let's say you don't know what is fuel cell, search now. Okay. You can do purification of different metal, and after purification, apa kegunaan dia. So cari how to purify impure metal. Electroplating of metal and the application. So how to carry out electroplating. Treatment of industrial effluent by applying electrolytic membrane. What is electrolytic membrane, teacher? Go and search. Senang dapat. Semua ada. Okay. Effluent sebenarnya the waste lah from industrial. Let's say you are staying in the Taman Esan, that side. They have some light industry. So you observe lah, dia ada tak effluent. Ataupun if you know the factory punya orang, maybe boleh tanya, do you have some sample? You can do that, do the treatment. Huh? So it depends on your interest. Like this year, very interesting. You can do different type. Huh? Usage of alloys in electrolysis. So you carilah apa jenis alloy. Maybe at home you ada barang-barang lama your parents want to get rid of. Maybe you suspect this one is alloy, and then you search lah. Prevention of corrosion. This one from 5 pun sudah ada. But you design your experiment is more bombastic way lah. Jangan macam form 5 saja. Maybe deeper lah. Buat beberapa set so that you boleh tabulate from the tabulate data. You can plot graph and then you can compare. Because in your report, we would like to see different kind of representation. Tabulate data, maybe line graph or bar graph. Okay, maksudnya candidate can interchange the maklumat daripada data kepada graph, daripada graph ke data. And recycling method process. So recycling ada banyak jenis. If you type of recycling, banyak. The ICT one, maybe you can do recycling of the motherboard lah, battery lah. What else? Your handphone lah. Macam mana dia do recycling? You can use what method suggested. Maksudnya you boleh guna related to redox process, related to electrolysis, related to plating. Plating maksudnya electrolysis jugalah. Ataupun like I say just now, recycling. Recycling ada banyak jenis. Biological recycling, mechanical recycling, chemical recycling, physical recycling, and many more. Even compost, the garden one is also recycling. So you kaji lah, yang mana is your interest. You sangat suka bahagian mana, you buat project itu so that you enjoy the process. At the same time, you produce your product at the end of the project, and then you share through the Viva presentation. So for me, I would suggest that in one class, you choose different topic. Jangan buat topik yang sama dalam satu kelas, because during the Viva presentation, we learn from different group. So when they present, you realize, ini benda baru. To me, is new thing, you know. Then when you present, your friend realize, this one I didn't do, but you tell me, what is the story behind? You see? So we learn through that process. Physical, biological, chemical treatment of industrial effluent. So you carilah. Kalau tak tahu, just search this maklumat, cut and paste, cari, then you will get the idea. So remember to work as a team lah. The team depends on subject teacher. Some subject teacher, they set the group for you. Some, they ask you to set your own group. It depends. You share, you cooperate. You take chance to learn new things. When you say that, this one I don't know, that is the time that you learn new things. Be positive and you share whatever you know. Whatever you don't know, maybe you need your friend to share to you. Enjoy the process and be the humble one. Okay, so normally after forming a group, whether by teacher or by yourself, I don't know, you talk to your subject teacher, you start to do your literature review. You set when you want to have a group meeting, to set a title and cari bahan-bahan yang spesifik kepada your title. You start early, I think, like during holiday, you have some time, you research. So once again, what to search for, what to write, what to discuss, a specific tajuk paling penting. Kalau lupa tajuk, I repeat, tajuk yang related to 1 hingga 7. Okay, listed also in your handout PDF. Tengok mana tajuk yang you rasa you suka. You set one, but this one is general one. When you write your tajuk, dia kena specific macam tadi, the one that I share to you. This one is general tajuk. So after you choose a tajuk, you start to buat chapter 1. Theory behind, start to search, literature, problem statement macam tadi. Okay, Daripada problem statement, you akan dapat objective, research question, limitation belum lagi, and then you move on to chapter 2 for your methodology. So you set bagaimana nak buat step 1, step 2, step 3, passive word methodology. Then along the way, you sudah kumpul your references, your bibliography guna APA system. So jadi when you hantar your proposal, you sudah ada chapter 1, chapter 2 dan chapter 5 punya barang. Okay, enjoy the process. Thank you. Lebih masa sikit. Just now started a bit late, waiting for others. Okay, thank you. Any question? Thank you, great sharing. You know who? Because tak ada nama. No question. Okay, good. You understood lah. Kalau tak faham, sentiasa tanya your subject teacher. So, Puan Magis, anything to tell? Puan Magis ada? Tak ada. Kalau tak ada, we stop here lah. If no question, then we shall end here lah. Any feedback from other subject teacher? Mr. Go, siapa? Puan Syuhada.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Pantan.
Puan Wijaya, maybe busy with the marking. Kalau tak ada, kita stop di sini boleh ya? Terima kasih. Thank you for your attention and time. So I hope you enjoy your process. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
All right.